What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Dragonflight video. We're looking at the Monk talent trees today. Hope you're all doing very well. Hope you got your coffee. Kick back and relax. Listen, all the Monk trees just came out. They are not completely finished, okay? There are a couple of different areas that are not done at all. There's these little cogs here that represent under construction. So the basic ideas are here for Monk, and we're just going to talk about the class tree today. I'll go through the specs later like I normally do. We're just going to do the class trees first. Overall, if I had to talk about the entire package for Monk, I think it's looking good. Some of the structure of the spec trees are completely terrible and need to change, but the ideas that are in there are really good, right? So it doesn't have the same kind of struggles that Paladin has. Paladin, for example, one of the biggest problems with Paladin is that wings is 3 different talent points, right, that you have to take. It's really, really dumb. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's you have to get wings and then reduce its cooldown and then actually get another talent over here on the spec side that makes wings what it normally does right now. So that's bad design. Monk doesn't struggle with any of that. A lot of its cooldowns are here. It's just that the way that it's structured on the tree can be a little bit strange. So they'll fix that. I'm not really worried about it. The class side looks really good. It's actually almost entirely chock full of stuff utility that we want. Not stuff. It's almost entirely chock full of utility. There are some DPS increases in the class tree, which is okay, but generally speaking, the best class trees that we've seen, the Shaman one, even the Rogue one is quite good. They tend to have a lot of utility. The Evoker one, it's all utility. Even the Druid one is actually quite good with that. So that's what's the majority in the Monk tree is the utility. Let me see if I can go a little bigger. There we go. And so that's good. There is some DPS increases though, and we'll get to that in a minute. There's some really insane touch of death stuff at the bottom we're going to get to later too, but a couple of important notes. There are lots of talents that you can get now on this tree that were competing before, right? Always an important point to bring up. Oop, not the PlayStation 5. That's not what I wanted to bring up. But the competing talents, it's always important to understand that you want to see how much power you can gain. Sorry, what am I looking at here? Monk. Why is it like this? Icy Veins / wow. Does that work? I need to bring up. Why is Icy Veins not working? Icy Veins. Whatever. It's always important to bring up that if you can get multiple talents that are in the same row, essentially, that you couldn't get before, then that's a huge win, right? That's a massive, massive win. And I literally can't get this to. Okay. Monk talent tree. Icy Veins. Gotta love this. So, for example, we'll just look at the Brewmaster talent tree really quick here. It's so bugged, man. So, for example, you can see on the Brewmaster tree that, there's things like Dampen Harm and Healing Elixir are here, right? So, and Bob and Weave. Over here, though, on the new Dragonflight tree, you've got Dampen Harm and you have Diffuse Magic. And you can get Chi Wave, which is over here, and you can also get Eye of the Tiger. So, multiple talents overlapping. You can get multiple talents, and a lot of them are in the class tree, which means you're also getting extra bonuses in the spec tree. So, it's always good to look at that and say, listen, what talents am I getting for free, essentially? Not for free, but what talents am I getting that I didn't have access to before? Because if I took Dampen Harm, then I couldn't get Diffuse Magic. If I took Eye of the Tiger, I couldn't get Chi Burst, right? So you can get both now, and that is so important to understand. Really, really, really good stuff there. So let's start at the top, okay? The different rows you're going to see, you've got Mistweaver on the left, you have Windwalker in the middle, you've got Brewmaster on the right, okay? That's how it's kind of set up. Rising Sun Kick is here, which is cool. It means that everybody has access to Rising Sun Kick, which is cool. It's it's sort of throughput, and I think you sort of have to take it, so it's a little strange that it's here. I'm not sure what else they would have put here for Windwalker. I guess, I don't know, Crackling Jade Lightning, that doesn't really work with, that works with some Windwalker builds, but not really. I'm not really sure what they would have put here instead. I guess Rising Sun Kick does make sense. So, it's there. We got Soothing Mist, sorry, which is the ranged monk playstyle for Mistweaver. And then we have Tigerlust. This is a massive cooldown to have right here for the Brewmaster side. Tigerlust I would have thought would have been almost in the Windwalker area, but this is a massive quality of life cooldown that you get to have. Like, Tigerlust is huge. It's something that is typically always taken, you know, sometimes you don't get to take it because you want to take like Serenity or Chi Torpedo, but now you can get all your roll stuff and Tigerlust as well. So the boost in mobility is pretty strong there. Okay, right here we've got reduce all damage taken by 3%. That's insane. That's a very good node. Very good for Brewmaster, of course. Rolls over here. So there you go. Roll a short distance. Tiger Tail Sweep. This is leg sweep. Leg sweep is baseline. Okay, so it's down there. So you get to the talent that reduces increases the range and reduces its cooldown. That is, of course, not in. Yeah, there it is. It shares a line with like Summon Black Ox Statue and Ring of Peace. So again, the utility here, you can get the reduction in cooldown to your leg sweep, and you can get Ring of Peace, and you can actually get Summon Black Ox Statue. So again, a talents that you can get, guys, that you couldn't get before at the same time. You can get all of them now. So Heavy Air, this is kind of really strange. I don't know why this is here. It's blocking, like, increases all healing taken by 4%. Like, Crackling Jade Lightning range by 10 yards is blocking all your healing taken by 4%. They absolutely make no sense being here together. Both of them are kind of strange. Like, healing taken by 4% on the Mistweaver side, it should be like healing done by 4%, right? Like, why increases all damage you deal by 4% is over here? Why is this increases all healing that you receive by 4%? So I feel like this is either a typo and it's going to be changed, or or it shouldn't be here at all. This shouldn't be here at all either. This should be like maybe in the middle somewhere. I don't know why this is here at all. Both of these are very weird, and I hope Blizzard kind of removes them because they're, or just moves them somewhere else. It just doesn't make sense. Yes, you might use Crackling Jade Lightning as a Mistweaver monk. I get that. But you're not just going to stand there and go bzzz, and like now that you have 10 extra yards of range, you get to channel Crackling Jade Lightning like longer. Like, I don't understand why it's there. It's just, if you want to do a Crackling Jade Lightning buff, it's got to be something different than this. This doesn't make any sense, okay? That's my point. Vivify is here. 40% more healing for Vivify, which is, like, wild for Mistweaver. And then this is insane. Vivify is now instant cast. Like, that's insane for the melee Mistweaver build, right? Because your Vivifies will hit everything that has Renewing Mist on it. Right? Here it is right here. Invigorating Mist. So, like, if this stays here the way it is now, it's completely bananas for the melee style. Because for the melee Mistweaver style, you're getting your Renewing Mists out, and then you're running in and you're doing damage. And then anytime Renewing Mist comes off cooldown, you press Renewing Mist to make sure that it's out there. But mostly, you're hitting them with Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, yada yada. You're getting that stuff. You're building up your Teachings of the Monastery, which is down here now. Ancient Teachings of the Monastery, right? Tiger Palm, Blackout Kick, Rising Sun Kick, they heal people after your Essence Font. So, like, Renewing Mist, Renewing Mist, Renewing Mist, Renewing Mist, Essence Font, and then you're doing your damage. And then if you need to cast a Vivify now, it's going to hit everybody that has Renewing Mist, and you can press it instantly. You're going to, like, Tiger Palm, Vivify, Rising Sun Kick, Vivify. Like, that's insane quality of life buff for the melee playstyle. This is either, I think it's just going right under the radar of some people. The power level of this talent is incredible. It's worth like 3 or 4 talent points on this tree. It's insane for the melee playstyle. It's not as crazy for the range style because you can, of course, use Vivify instantly when you're channeling Soothing Mist, which you'll hopefully be doing with the range style. They're actually adding in some really good ranged options here for Monk. But just for the melee monks, I think this is insane. It's absolutely broken, turbo broken. Detox is here, which is great. Everybody can have Detox. I think that was the way it was anyway. Poison and disease. Not disease. I can't talk today. Disables here, which is kind of whatever. Good in certain circumstances. It's good to have that if you need it. Increases all damage dealt by 4%. This feels like really bad design here because, like, it feels mandatory, man. Like, you're going to have to take this, I think, right? 4% more damage just for free. I feel like even the Mistweavers are going to feel like they have to go take this. So I'm not really in love with that because it's like it feels mandatory. Anytime there's a talent that feels 100% mandatory, that feels like a little bit rough to me because the point of these talent trees, in my opinion, is that they give you choices. You want to have those choices. So a little rough there. This line over here is kind of strange. You take Paralysis, and then you can get it down to a 30-second cooldown, which is the way it is on live. So you have to take 2 talents to get Paralysis to where it is on live. That's not the end of the world. What is strange is that this is blocking you from getting Fortifying Brew. This is the only way to get Fortifying Brew on all your classes, including Brewmaster. Brewmaster has other Fortifying Brew options in its tree that so you don't have to necessarily take this, but like it's just weird. Like, what if I don't need Paralysis in a raid fight, right? Like, if I don't need to take Paralysis in a raid fight, then I'm wasting 2 talent points to get my Fortifying Brew. So this is very poorly positioned, I think. It just needs to be linked to something else. It needs to be linked to, like, Detox as well, or linked to, I mean, not to Disable, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what this is not okay. This Fortifying Brew needs to be, like, more centralized and linked to other abilities. This Fortifying Brew should be moved, like, over here somewhere. That's just my opinion, because I feel like you shouldn't have to take 2 points into Paralysis just to get Fortifying Brew. On a raid fight, it's useless. Then we have a buff to Fortifying Brew here. Increases your dodge and armor by 25%, or reduces the cooldown by 2 minutes. So the dodge and armor is kind of like whatever, I think. Getting 2 minutes off the cooldown is very good. This is a 5-minute cooldown on live. But for, like, Brewmaster Monk, this is a brew. So they reduce the cooldown of this with their passively with their brews, right? So making it a 2-minute cooldown and then also reducing it with, like, Keg Smash and Tiger Palm and stuff makes this a very, very interesting cooldown now. So it's now a 3-minute cooldown, but then gets reduced even further. Maybe it's like a 1.5-minute cooldown if you're playing optimally, which is like bananas. That's really, really strong for Brewmaster in particular. So that's interesting. Spearhand Strike is here. Mistweaver can get a kick now, so very good. So now Shaman Healers will have a kick. Resto Shaman, Resto Druid, and Mistweaver Monk will all be getting kicks now. So that's pretty cool. Transcendence is in the middle here. This last point I want to make over here about this whole Paralysis Fortifying Brew thing. Expel Harm is down here, which is like a pretty core part of all 3 of the specs. You know, for Mistweaver, it's an extra heal. You can do it while you're channeling Soothing Mist, which is really cool. And then for Brewmaster, it's an extra self-heal, which is really, really good. It draws in all your healing spheres for more healing. And then for Windwalker, it can generate a chi. So, but it's blocked by Paralysis. Again, in Mythic Plus, this, like, sort of doesn't matter at all. But in Raid, I don't want to take 2 points in Paralysis to have to get Expel Harm, right? So it's not connected to anything else. So this needs to be moved or connected in a better way. That's my opinion there. Transcendence is here, which is fine. But Transcendence does block Ring of Peace and Eye of the Tiger. Once again, they're, like, forcing you to take Transcendence in order to get Ring of Peace and Eye of the Tiger, which, like, Transcendence isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. It's like there's nothing wrong with it at all. It's just like it's like pure utility and, like, repositioning, which is very powerful on certain fights. But, like, to block Ring of Peace and then recovery in the form of Eye of the Tiger, I just don't understand why it's blocking it. Like, it's not related to these two at all. Why is it the only way that I can get Eye of the Tiger? Why is it the only way that I can get Ring of Peace? There needs to be, like, better connections here. I don't mind them, like, wanting you to make choices, I guess, in terms of the pathing that you take. But, like, honestly, this is a bad way to do it. What they should do is just limit your choices in terms of the amount of options you do. Like, think of the Shaman tree, and we don't always want to do this. I don't always want to go back and, like, just compare this to the Shaman talent tree, because that's not the best way to do this, really. But if you look at the Shaman talent tree, you can get all the things that you want to get. Look at how everything is connected. Connected to the left, connected to the right, connected to the right here, connected to the left, connected to the right, connected to the left, connected up here, connected to the left and the right, connected to the right. Like there's so many connected to left and right, connected to the right, left and right. There's so many left and right here. In the middle section, there's so many connections, guys. And it's important to just understand that this is like only connected in the middle. This is only connected this way. Like, why? Just make more connections. It just seems, it's just weird. It's just very, very weird. So, Transcendence is here. Fast Feed is here. 70% more damage on Rising Sun Kick is very strange. That is a lot of damage. It's almost making it do double damage. Like, that's mandatory, I think, for all the specs, which makes it kind of frustrating. Like, that's way too much extra damage. Feels like a typo or something. Maybe it's meant to be 7%, and then Spinning Crane Kick deals 10% more? Like, 70% is just wrong. It's just, it can't be right. It's got to be 3.5% and 7%. That would be my guess. Which means it's, like, okay. It's still more throughput, so, like, Windwalker's going to want to take it, but it's not, then it wouldn't be, like, mandatory for, like, everybody to take, right? See what I'm saying there? Provoke is here, so every monk can get a taunt. Although, I think Provoke has got to be baseline, because the way that this is worded, it says Provoke targets move towards you 50% increased speed, which is, like, the way Provoke works. So I think Provoke is just baseline. There it is right there. It looks like it's just baseline for all three, which is interesting when we get to Black Ox Statue. We'll get to that later, okay? Over here we have 6% less damage taken while channeling Soothing Mist. I think that's actually a really interesting direction for them to go with Mistweaver. They're kind of encouraging you to be doing the ranged style, right? That you're playing the ranged Mistweaver style, because you get 6% DR while channeling Soothing Mist, which is kind of wild. It does feel, though, like it's not enough, and it's kind of janky, right? Like, it feels like it's enough damage reduction that in, like, a world first, raiding scenario, all the Mistweaver monks would have to stop whatever they're doing and press Soothing Mist while an ability is coming out, right? You press, like, Dampen Harm, and you channel Soothing Mist to get that 6% extra DR. It feels like that's what it's going to become. Like this really janky, I have to press this just to be safe in a really dangerous moment kind of situation, and that seems bad. I hope that's not really what happens, but it feels like it could be kind of cool. Like it's encouraging you to play the range style, but it's not enough, and it might be the wrong direction to channel for the range style. It should be like increases all healing done by 10% while channeling Soothing Mist. That would be better, right? Because then it's like, okay, the reason that I'm taking this is because now all my healing gets better when I'm channeling Soothing Mist. That's a better direction to take this talent, I think. I don't know why they don't just do something like that. So, Chi Wave and Chi Burst are here, which is great. It still does the same thing that it does for Windwalker. It'll generate up to 2 Chi, so very, very good. You can also, however, get Eye of the Tiger now on all 3 specs, and you can have your choice between. So that's really, really good. Especially for, like, Brewmaster, I think. This is going to give you tons of extra healing. But even for, like, Windwalker, really good quality of life for Windwalker. To have that extra nature damage and then extra healing is pretty good, in my opinion. You've got Diffuse Magic and Dampen Harm. Once again, I was trying to show you in the other talent trees. You also get Healing Elixir over here. And I think all 3 of the specs get Healing Elixir. I'm not entirely sure about Windwalker. Let me just check really quickly here. Oh my god, go away. Give me Windwalker. Doesn't look like Windwalker has it. But that's... Oh, they do have it. No, they don't. That's the inner piece. So they get Touch of Karma instead. So it doesn't... It's a little bit different. But Brewmaster and Mistweaver both get Healing Elixir. And then everybody gets Dampen Harm and Diffuse Magic. That's insane. Insane defensives now, right? Now everybody has Fortifying Brew and Dampen Harm and Diffuse Magic. That's kind of insane. Plus their own personal stuff. Healing Elixir, and Windwalker gets Reverse Karma. So, like, Monk in general has tons of defensives now. Tons and tons of defensives. They're going to be perfectly fine. Plus extra healing. Double dipping on healing. Expel Harm as well. Here's Chi Torpedo and Serenity. So you can get Roll up here. And /or you can get Chi Torpedo. If you get Chi Torpedo down here and don't take roll, then you just have one charge of Chi Torpedo. But if you take roll and Chi Torpedo, it converts your roll into a Chi Torpedo, and you get 2 charges of Chi Torpedo. If you go Serality, of course, you get 2 charges of roll, and it reduces its cooldown by 5 seconds. So you can kind of mix and match. If you don't want to spend 2 talent points to get the same equivalent that you have now, you don't have to. You could just pick one or the other. You could get 1 charge of roll and be done with it. But you're probably not going to want to do that. But again, you get to have 2 Chi Torpedoes or 2 rolls and Tiger Lust. You get all 3 of your mobility things. So very, very strong. Again, you're getting extra talents that you didn't have access to before. Guys, the power level of that is insane. I can't tell you how strong that is. I'm going to keep emphasizing it. It is incredibly strong that you get both Dampen Harm and Diffuse Magic. You get both Eye of the Tiger and Chi Wave. You get Tiger Lust and Serenity and Roll. Like, it's very, very strong that you get all 3 of those, okay? Very important to understand that. Touch of Death is here. This is just the rank 2 bonus of it. Can now be used on targets with less than 15% health remaining, dealing 35% of your maximum health and damage. So the baseline Touch of Death obviously does damage based on your maximum health, right? But can only be used when they have less health than you, okay? But now you can buff it, which is the rank 2 says now you can use it if they have less than 15% of their health remaining. This is good for raid bosses, right? Because raid bosses, even though they only have 15% of their health remaining, they probably still have more maximum health than you do, so you can't use the baseline Touch of Death, right? But now with this rank 2, you can. That's just how it works normally, right? For all monks. Now, let's see this. This gets even crazier here. The Touch of Death stuff is out of control. Fatal Touch. Touch of Death cooldown reduced by 2 minutes. This is the legendary in Shadowlands right now. 2 minutes, guys. It goes down to a 1-minute cooldown. It is a 3-minute cooldown baseline. This is now a 1-minute cooldown for everybody. This feels like an insane sort of mandatory pick for me, in my opinion, because they increased the, like, what Touch of Death does now, right? In Shadowlands, they buffed what it does. So if you're on Brewmaster, it reduces your delayed stagger damage by 200% of the damage dealt. If you're a Windwalker, it generates 3 Chi Spheres immediately, okay? And then for Mistweaver, it increases your physical damage. No, sorry. Yeah, I guess it increases your physical damage by 15% on Windwalker. What's it do for Mistweaver? It, like, heals people. It's not showing it here. Brewmaster, Windwalker. It's not showing it there. Unless I'm crazy. Yeah. Anyway, I don't know why it's not showing it. Touch of Vitality? Nope. I forget what it does for Mistweaver, genuinely. I'll have to look it up. But the bottom line is it has extra... It does extra bonuses. And now it's a 1-minute cooldown, so you can just spam it. You can just use it all the time. In a dungeon, you can use this thing like 10 or 12 times. Imagine 10 or 12 Touch of Deaths. Touch of Deaths in a dungeon. Like, I think this is insane. It's insane, guys. Okay, we're into the bottom row. Excuse me. We're into the bottom row here. Let me just back up some talents. Because, again, the only way to get to the Mistweaver stuff is kind of through the Vivify or through Tiger Tail Sweep, which is fine. Like, I'm actually fine with that because the Vivify stuff is completely cracked. You can get immune to roots and snares as well. This is more of just a PvP thing. But what I don't know is if you can press this once you are rooted or snared. So, like, if you get rooted, can you then press roll to break the root? I don't know about that because it says during roll, you're immune. So I'm not really sure, guys. Somebody let me know in the comments down below. We're into the bottom row here. Let's look at these really quickly. There's some really cool stuff here. Close to heart, your allies within something yards gain an additional 4% leech. If this is like raid wide, like a 40-yard range, giving 4% leech to your entire raid, that's insane value. That's actually really, really good. Giving 20 people 4% leech is really, really strong. So that's actually like a pseudo raid buff that you can, if the range is far enough. Windwalkers get you and your allies within 2 yards get 4% movement speed within 4 yards. So I don't know if they're getting rid of the Windwalking effect, like the 10% movement speed for Windwalking. I don't know. That feels like that's a straight nerf. If Windwalker doesn't also get its own 10% movement speed, then this is a nerf. So I'm not really as excited about that one. This one's also crazy, though. Generous Pour. You and your allies within certain yards get 4% avoidance. So the 4% avoidance and the 4% leech are crazy good for a raid team. The 4% movement speed is kind of garbage. Escape from Reality is here. Transcend or Transfer. Okay. The Touch of Death is there like I talked about. Here's the bottom 6 talents here. Save them all. When your healing spells heal more than 3 people below 35% health, heal for an additional percentage. This seems very bad to me. It's 2 points, and I don't know what the second point does. There's too many qualifiers on this. I have to be healing more than 3 people, so I have to be healing 4 people, okay? And they have to be below 35% health. All of them do, I guess. Like, what? If there's more than 4 people below 35% health, we might be in trouble. Like, we might be dead. But, like, this is just so specific. And I think there's too many qualifiers on this. I like the idea of what they're going for, but the qualifiers are way too much. Summon Jade Serpent here is at the bottom. So this is kind of interesting. It means everybody can get Jade Serpent statue, including, you know, Windwalker can get it, but including Brewmaster, which is a little strange because you can also get Soothing Mist. So, like, I don't know if you can, like, if you start a pull by dropping a Jade Serpent statue, you quickly channel Soothing Mist on yourself, and then you go. And then you're getting 8 seconds of this Jade Serpent statue giving you, like, healing you at the beginning of the pull, which means you have a bunch of extra healing. And then, like, I don't know, 10 seconds later after you do that, you just press Soothing Mist on yourself again for, like, 1 second, 1 GCD, and then, again, the statue will keep channeling again, right? I guess that's a thing that Brewmasters could do now. That seems, like, kind of cool, actually, but it might be a little bit kind of cancerous. Like, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting idea. Let me know what you guys think about that. You're going to have to set up your statue before every pull, but on, like, a raid boss fight, you just set it up once. I mean, it lasts a long time. You'd have to keep setting it up. I don't know, every 30, 40 seconds. I forget how long Serpent statue lasts. I can't look. Icy Veins is completely messed up right now. Why is it so messed up? Oh, there we go. I fixed it. I fixed it, guys. I fixed it. Look at Mistweaver really quick. Oh my god, no. I don't want to do... Please. Please, Icy Veins. Send help. Okay, this is here. How long does this last? It doesn't tell you. I need to get into the game and see. I think it's like a minute or something, right? Jade statue, like, lasts a while. Anyway, the point is, maybe Brewmaster has a new way of healing themselves. You pop down statue, you channel for 1 second Soothing Mist, and then this guy's going to keep channeling on you, okay, for 220% spell power, which is pretty good. Then you know, every 10 seconds or so, you refresh it to keep the healing going. I don't know. Maybe that's a new way for Brewmaster to heal. That's kind of interesting that all the specs have access to this now. Here's the other... This is another 3 consecutive thing. So when your 3 consecutive abilities hit more than 3 enemies, so 4 enemies or more, you deal additional damage. So again, this is much better because you're talking about like Spinning Crane Kick or Fists of Fury, and they hit lots of enemies. So this is much more achievable for Windwalker to do. So I don't mind this at all. This is terrible. Save Them All is terrible, but this one's actually not too bad. And then we don't know what this under construction thing is. We're not sure yet what that's going to be, but this is actually not terrible. Here's the one for the Brewmaster. When a hit deals more than 20% of your maximum health, again, I'm hitting this twice, and I don't know what the second point is doing for me. When a hit deals more than 20% of your maximum health, reduce all damage taken by a percentage. This is insane for Brewmaster. We don't know what the percentage on this is, but this is insanely strong for Brewmaster, almost no matter what the percentage is. If you take 5% less damage or 10% less damage, that's completely crazy. That's really, really good. Because you're often going to take, with Brewmaster, you often will take a lot, you know, maybe more than 20% of your maximum health on like a raid fight, right? Because all you have is your dodge. You don't have a shield to block damage, you know, you don't, that kind of stuff. So you're obviously staggering a lot of the damage that comes in, but this is very good. And then Summon Black Ox statue is here. And again, everybody has access to Provoke. So every, you know, Mistweavers and Windwalkers can throw out a Black Ox statue in a Mythic Plus and provoke it. and that will make all enemies go towards the Black Ox statue and do damage to it. So this is actually like, it's almost akin to like half of like a Rocky, like a Shaman Earth Elemental. It's kind of a similar idea. And now all monks have basically like a pseudo Earth Elemental that they can throw out that'll taunt all nearby enemies, pulse threat, and give your tank a break. In particular, something like a Necrotic Week, this is very strong on Necrotic Week. Your tank's at like 40 stacks of Necrotic. He's like, I gotta go. You're like, okay, I'm throwing Black Ox statue down. You can go now. You provoke it. All the mobs are like, whoa. They start hitting the statue for like, even if you buy your tank like 2 seconds, you can combine Black Ox statue with something like Ring of Peace to give your tank some space so that he can drop his Necrotic stacks. Or if there's a really crazy mechanic on a particular boss fight in Mythic Plus that like just slams the tank and he starts building up stacks that are like really dangerous, maybe you could do Black Ox statue for like 5 seconds and he can drop whatever stacks he has going to give him a break. So I really like this idea. I actually love this idea. Similar to the Jade Serpent statue. I love that they're introducing what would have been sort of spec specific abilities into the class tree to give the monks more flexibility. So you can bring this into your Mythic Plus, the Provoke Black Ox statue. Your Brewmaster monk can get Soothing Mist plus Jade Serpent statue for some extra healing. Those are some really, really cool ideas. Save them all is terrible, but they need to fix that. That's the tree, guys. Overall, this tree is very strong, and I'll tell you why. We're getting all kinds of talents that we had before. Let me just review this here. We have Tiger's Lust and Serenity or Chi Torpedo and Roll. You're getting all that movement that you have that you had to choose between. You're now getting it all at the same time. Everybody's getting Spear Hand Strike. So Mistweavers now have Spear Hand Strike. Very good. Everybody gets Fortifying Brew with a potentially 3-minute cooldown on Fortifying Brew. Another defensive. Very, very strong. I mean, everybody has this now, but getting it down to 3 minutes is very, very good. You can also get Dampen Harm and Diffuse Magic. So now you have Diffuse Magic, Dampen Harm, and Fortifying Brew just in the class tree. In the spec tree, you've got like Healing Elixir and Karma for Windwalker Monk. So you're getting all these defensives that before had to fight for the same position. You're getting extra healing as well. Things like Soothing Mist or Summon Jade Serpent statue. Literally, you could take this as a Windwalker Monk and have an extra Summon Jade Serpent statue to keep yourself alive. But you're getting Chi Wave or Chi Burst and Eye of the Tiger. So you're getting both of those. They competed for a slot before, and now you get both of them. You're getting insane Touch of Death technology here. 1 minute Touch of Death with all the extra bonuses that Touch of Death has on it. It's actually crazy that you're getting it on a 1 minute cooldown. This legendary was awesome in Shadowlands, but it wasn't used because there were other legendaries that were just a little bit better. But this is a strong, strong legendary to have coming back in the class tree. On top of that, for the final bonuses here, you're getting really cool utility, which is what we want to see. Things like Provoke plus Black Ox statue in Mythic Plus is going to be incredible for Necrotic Weeks. It's going to be incredible just for helping your tank or your team in general. It's kind of like having an extra Earth Elemental, and you can really support your team with that. Also, for all 3 specs, but mostly for Windwalker and for Brewmaster, getting a Summon Jade Serpent statue plus Soothing Mist seems really, really strong. Having an instant Vivify for those classes is crazy. Yes, you're going to burn through your mana like really quickly on Windwalker or Brewmaster, or your energy rather. But if you need an emergency heal, you've got instant Vivify. If you need an extra heal over time, you can have your Jade Serpent just going all the time. That's really cool quality of life. I love that they're introducing spec-specific ideas and bringing it into the class tree. I think that that's a great move for them. So all in all, there's a couple of strange things going on here with the pathing. They need to make better connections with things like Fortifying Brew not being locked behind Paralysis, Expel Harm not being locked over here. They need to move this over, make better connections that way. They need to just remove Heavy Air and Grace of the Crane, or redesign both of these because they're really, really terrible. I don't understand why they're here at all. Those are like the only 2 real problems in my mind, guys, honestly. This line over here and these lines here. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think about the Monk talent trees What do you think about the class tree in general? Do you think Monk's looking good, or do you think that they've kind of messed up here? So I'd love to hear everything from you guys down below. So drop a like and subscribe if you like this video. Really helps me out, guys. We are past 2K subscribers. I'm going to be doing my 24-hour stream. It's coming up. I'm going to be announcing it. It's on my Discord. I've actually on every video I've been announcing it. So stay tuned for the 24-hour stream on Twitch if you want to see that. Also, I have a straw poll that's going to be underneath this video. I'm trying to get a sense for what people think about streaming platforms right now. So let me know what you think about streaming platforms. What's your favorite platform? Is it Twitch? Is it YouTube? Or do you not care? Those are kind of the main ones that I'm looking at right now. So go check out that straw poll and let me know about your thoughts. I would really appreciate it. Thank you guys again, once again, for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.